Chiney, I was talking about the generations that Kobe has inspired as his career and life evolve. You are clearly a member of that younger generation who looked up to someone like Kobe as an idol when it came to basketball. How are you absorbing what is happening right now?
It's been extremely difficult. I'm currently in Los Angeles. I live downtown, about 6 blocks from Staples Center. And I was just out and about, going about my daily business. And that's when the news broke. I looked at my phone and heard about it. And it's just been extremely tough because as I was crossing through the LA Live Plaza, as you see the shots there, it was not nearly as many people. People forget the Grammys are going on right now. There were people in gowns, there was energy, there was buzz downtown. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like everything went quiet. There started to be more jerseys, Kobe Bryant jerseys, obviously. People just wanted to be together downtown here, and just seeing how everyone is rallying and holding each other and embracing. I watched someone already show artwork, and there was also a flower bouquet already being, presented and erected right in front of Staples. It just is unreal how quickly this has all come together. Just processing this news. And I think in times like this is when, everyone unites. And so me personally being a part of the women's basketball community, this is just extremely personal for us as well. I know we talk a lot about his NBA credentials, but he was very much present at WNBA games, saw him at WNBA All-Star. I'm a member of the Los Angeles Sparks, and he's had a tremendous relationship with our organization, so much so that my head coach, Derek Fisher, always tells us stories about how to be a champion each and every day based on going up against Kobe in practice. I even remember we saw Kobe. Kobe called us into his private room with his daughters at the U.S. Women's National Team training competition that we were able to witness and attend, and he spent the entire halftime plus and then some, about like 30 minutes, talking to us about how to understand Coach Fisher and how to compete at the highest level. And it really helped us as players. He was always giving back. And to me, I think everyone feels it. Just being downtown, it's surreal to see how few people were there when the news broke and how quickly everyone has come together. And I mean, I even heard applause when they showed, his picture on the big screen, right, by Wolfgang Puck. Like, this is just, it's very difficult to process, but at the same time, I think everyone is leaning on each other, especially downtown here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so many emotions right now, Chiney. Sadness, but also appreciation for what he represented to so many people in whatever regard that might be. Stand by, Chiney. I do want to share a little more perspective here from President Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States. He went to Twitter moments ago and shared the following, quote, "Kobe was a legend on the court and just getting started in what would have been just as meaningful a second act. To lose Gianna is even more heartbreaking to us as parents. Michelle and I send love and prayers to Vanessa and the entire Bryant family on an unthinkable day." And that is something that's also so hard for people to absorb, Chiney. I mean, we all experience death in our lives from a personal standpoint, friends, family, relatives, coworkers, what have you. But when young children die as well, and especially in this particular case, Gianna, who was 13 years old, she goes by Gigi, a budding basketball star in her own right on the junior level, and they were on their way to a game that Kobe was going to coach her in. And you mentioned the WNBA games, how many times he brought her courtside to see the Sparks play or to go and see the University of Oregon women's teams play. The influence that he was having on a young generation of basketball players of both genders, Chiney, and now you're going to have to absorb that tragedy of Gianna not being able to reach her potential in the sport.
Everyone is hurting. And this news came in waves. Obviously, first Kobe Bryant and then his daughter. And I don't even know if I should be saying this, but our team, our Sparks, were, thinking about potentially practicing this year at Mamba Academy. And that's how committed he is to finding role models that support, women's basketball for his daughter. He did it for the love of his children. It just, to me, is hard to process in general, especially when it comes to her too. When you think about the impact he's had on the game, it's not just what he did himself, but it's also, as you mentioned, for the future generations. everyone in my generation tends to think that, LeBron/Kobe are the greatest of all time because he epitomized basketball dominance in the era in which we were born and raised. So, especially for the women's basketball community, we understand this as well. I was even supposed to be 2 weeks ago invited to a private WNBA workout session with Kobe. I know there were a number of other WNBA players involved in that session. I believe Liz Cambage, Kayla McBride, about 10 or so players that came, and he didn't do this for the notoriety. He didn't do this, just to get attention, because a lot of times women's basketball players tend to fight for that, fight for our positioning. But he saw us, he respected us, and those are the things that he would do out of the love of the game, whether he was competing in his prime or afterward. He just cared. He cared, and I think it all stemmed from his daughter's love. And one of my favorite things that he said, a lot of people were saying, "Hey, don't you want a son?" And he said, "Why do I need a son? I've got a daughter that can carry on my legacy." So, totally heartbroken, especially, for the future generation. We knew her to be the rising star, the one that would carry the torch, the one that would rep his name on the back of the jersey. We were excited for that, and it's just tough for that to be gone way too soon.